final community event is by a comedian from South Africa, Simmi Areff, who is the host of a podcast called Lesser Known Somebodies. But don't be fooled by the title, because his podcast is very successful. It's one of the most successful podcasts, but we will let him introduce himself more. So this event is actually a live recording of a podcast episode of his, where he's going to have conversations with people calling in, and he's going to answer their questions, comment on the issues they bring up in his own unique style. This is the best Friday afternoon plan, actually. So get ready to wind down, be entertained. Sorry, Joe?
Go ahead. Take it away.
Take it away, Simmi.
What up?
Simmi Areff, what up, boy?
I'm good, bro.
Simmi Areff joins us in studio. He knows more than you can imagine.
Is President Barack Obama a Muslim?
Because you know it's going to be a zoo.
It was already a zoo.
Did anything happen while I was gone? Haven't you noticed the whole place is on fire?
Let me tell you why you're here.
But they can only speak in question. Are there side effects? Or?
Just diarrhea.
My first guess is...
Simmi.
Look who's there, this guy.
Lesser known somebodies.
Welcome to Africa's 8th Best Podcast with me, Simmi Areff. Today, we are doing a live rendition of the podcast. As you can see, I've set up a lovely mini studio at home. I have my microphone, I have a ring light, I have a vase full of flowers. We are going to have a good time today. I brought some friends, but let me explain to you how this podcast is going to work. This is an open line. If you have a comment, if you have a question, if you want to ask me something and you need an answer, I am your man for the next hour. I'm going to help you. I've got a producer that's running the show behind the scenes. His name is Tevin. Tevin, if you want to jump on screen for a second so the people can see you. If you don't, that's also cool. But Tevin's going to be putting your comments up on the screen when he sees them so we can answer some questions. I do have a couple of guests. I have some comedians. I have a journalist. I have someone that actually knows more about podcasts than me. So we're going to try to get through all of them. We don't have much time, but here we go. Thank you, Ahorn. Let's start with my first guest. Tevin, if you can please bring the lovely Yasin Barnes into the studio.
Hold on, let me just center my mic quickly.
Everybody, this is one of my closest friends and fellow Muslim, Yasin Barnes. Yasin Barnes is an incredible comedian. He's also one of the people that irritate me the most because he has very bad jokes. I just want to read that first comment that popped up right now, just to show off a little bit. Yasin, latest comment says, wow, a whole live recording. Love #Africa Podcast Day.
That's
What are
really
you-
great.
I know it's great.
Can I first say, I actually know that we are of the best friends because you've never told me to my face that I'm a good comedian, only in front of people. So I know that that's real friendship, is that you will roast me to my face, but be nice in public. That's,
gonna help,
I feel like that's the first understanding we need to get out of the way.
I don't want you to get a big head. I think that's one of the biggest problems in society today. People have big heads, and you don't have to lean back. You'll be fine. You are childish.
So I read this thing. Sorry to cut this now. I read this thing the other day of when you do Zoom calls and when you speak to people, you mustn't actually face directly. You're supposed to face just off, because you face someone straight, it's too
So you have to do it like a Larry King interview.
like a
Really?
school picture.
Because you know when Larry King interviewed people, he never like sat like straight on with them. He always sat on the side. He said it disarmed them. I mean,
And it makes sense because if you look someone straight, it's very aggressive, but also it looks like an ID photo, and no one looks good as an ID photo.
but I mean also at the same time, we're in front of a computer screen. Can I tell you what I like? If I could show you guys what I have my computer set up on, it's an ironing board. It's an ironing board. I took a shoe box, I cut it at a 45 degrees so I could put my laptop on. So it makes me look like I've got a better angle, but I don't. I'm wearing
Yes.
shorts.
If I know it's an audio and it's a podcast, but if I can also show the people, this is my tripod. It's just books that I stack up that I find okay. I feel like that's what COVID has taught me is to just use the things that's in the house.
But
And
isn't that the most beautiful thing? Like this is what when people always tell me about like doing podcasts in Africa, I always say like, Africans, we are street children when it comes to solving things. We'll do anything. So like if I can't get a tripod, my man, ironing board, books, everything, I'll make it work. I'll make it work. That's why, like, every single time you see an African person overseas, you guys, like, we nod at each other. We know, like, hey, this guy also struggled like me to get there. It's tough out there in the streets.
yeah, we look nice, but to look nice, the effort that we must put in to look nice is so much more than the rest of the world. Even just the simplest of things. Having electricity for 24 hours is already a mission, I feel like, in most of Africa.
Bro, I agree with you 100%. Yasin, you're a comedian, but you also one of my friends, but you also came over here because you had something to speak about. What do you want to talk today, my friend?
Everything is interesting. It's such a. I know it sounds like such a person that takes a lot of drug statement to make, but it's the no. But you know what happened is that I started watching because of lockdown and everything else. You start watching random things on the internet. You start watching good movies and you start watching bad movies. I say bad movies, but I've never seen a movie that I put off. I'd rather watch it till the end, hate the movie, but it's something that I could take apart and learn from. You know what I mean?
But it's also because you have the time now. You have the time to watch it. You see, you and I are both artists. So it's not like we can jump on stage at any moment and be like, yo, let me go try these 4 hours of new material that I have. So we spend these days, I would like to call it research and development. But if I have to watch 15 seasons of the Food Network, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Research and development, but it's actually just I feel like now we'll call it research and development, but let's say 10 years ago I was called lazy by my aunties. Why is Yasi not does he not have a job? No, it's research and development, auntie. Let me just please explain. But
I'm so deep into like South African politics at the moment, right? I even have a voice clip specifically for this live episode. So if you have a question and you want to ask me, in the words of one of our greatest former presidents, the man that has given us so many jokes in South Africa, Jacob Zuma.
You come with meandos, I answer with meandos. Ask the question, I will answer the question.
It is easy. If you guys don't know what meandos is a word Jacob Zuma made on the night, but we all understood what it meant. If you come with the meandos, I'm answering with meandos.
But you see, that's Africa. I also feel like that's Africa because we go, this is English is not necessarily our language, but we'll make it whatever we want it to be. When Trump said kufefe, then everybody was like, oh, he can't speak. He's struggling to speak. We were like, meandos is a word now.
Meandos is a word. You come with meandos, I answer with meandos. So is that your question you had for me? Your topic was, what am I watching?
Yes, what are you watching? What's the worst thing that you've watched that was the best thing that you've watched?
The worst thing that I've watched. What do you mean that it becomes my best?
Something that's like so cringe or something that's so like badly put together, but at the end of it you go, I was entertained. Like you go, I can take a story from this. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that is my favorite thing to watch now, where I go, this makes no sense, but I'm still entertained. It's like wrestling.
I guess I would have to say that I watched that that Night Stalker documentary on Netflix. And I'm not saying that it's a bad documentary, but it's certainly not the best murder documentary in the world. It's like, I think Netflix have inculcated in us a way of understanding a documentary. We start off slow, we do these like blurry reenactments, and the script is good. But with that one, you could literally go like, okay, they're going to catch the guy here, he's going to do that. But I watched all of it because I'm interested in that stuff.
But that's the thing. I also feel like Netflix tells a good story. So but that's also their problem. So they will take like random things of the pink pen, and then you go, it's just a pink pen, guys. That's all that it is. But Netflix goes, the pink pen, was it white? then it turned pink, did it turn pink and then turn around? And now I'm 7 episodes into something that does not concern my life at all.
You know, Netflix is doing this new thing in the future with podcasting. Well, not specifically a podcast. They're basically allowing you to listen to the audio of a show while like
That's exactly what I do already. Is I put it on and then do the dishes.
sometimes I use my TV, my internet TV, as a massive, massive speaker, just so I get like people be like, "Yo, what podcast are you listening to?" I was like, "The news," and literally on Wednesday Africa. But the thing that I do watch during the day, which I love, is state capture. Yo, the state capture is my jive. I love that thing.
For me with a lot of the news, I only listen to the highlights. Like I just go, yo, give me the rundown of the thing. I can't sit for the whole day and watch the news. It's draining. I also feel
Bro,
like
the state capture is the longest drama. Okay, for other people that are listening from other parts of Africa, we had a problem in our country with massive, 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 massive corruption. Massive corruption. We had like 4 Indian dudes come from India in the 90s, and they managed to state capture us. Now we're having a massive commission to find out if they did capture the whole state. So it's a state capture inquiry. Now, this thing's been going on for 3 years, but only the good people, the good guests are coming now. Former President Jacob Zuma is coming with the Muendos. Will he answer with Muendos, though? We don't know. So it's a skit for me. It's like a daily drama. I love it.
we all, as the nation of South Africa, we are pitching this idea to Netflix to make it into a new documentary.
Yo.
Is it meanders in the next episode? What's going to happen to the Guptas?
Yeah, bro. Even a good like Law and Order, you know, like Law and Order, State Capture Inquiry. Law and Order, Zondo Commission. Law and Order, the Zuma Files. I would love that thing, bro. I would love it.
But we need Mariska Hargitay on the case, though. Like,
yeah.
Mariska Hargitay.
Like, I grew up, my granny, right? My granny made me watch Murder, She Wrote. She didn't make me. She didn't like force me to watch Murder, She Wrote. But I'm saying my granny would always have Murder, She Wrote on every day. 5:30 it used to come on. And I feel like that gave me the education to become a really good TV criminal detective. Like I can spot the bad guy from the beginning, huh? From the beginning. Not even a worry. I found the guy. I used to tell my granny straight in the first scene, Ma, you see that one over there with the leather jacket? He did it. How do you know, boy? I was like, no one wears a leather jacket like that and is not the criminal, please.
But also, can we discuss why murder shows were so early in the day? Like, these still children watching TV. And why must children watch? Like, what is wrong in your town that there is a death every week? It's like Grey's Anatomy. There is a death in the hospital every week. How many doctors must die in Grey's before they go, we're done?
Yeah, bro. If I saw Angela Lansbury in my town, I'm staying at home.
Yeah. But also, whenever I watch the shows, I go, just tell the police all the news. Like, if you're innocent, tell them all the stories. I feel like the good people and the bad people lie too much to the police.
I agree with you. Yasin Bonds, if you don't have anything else to say, thank you for coming on and spending a few minutes with me.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
thanks to all of Africa. This is the loudest my voice has been to the whole of Africa. So
the whole of Africa.
The whole of Africa.
I should ask all of my guests, let's name, how many countries in Africa can you name? Let's go.
I went to school with Chad.
Yeah. You are.
I'm gonna say 17 countries. No, it's not 17. It's more, but I'm just gonna go with 17. How many countries are?
No, there's a ton, bro. There's more than 17.
I know.
I'm nowhere near my Google search right now, but they're way more than 17.
I'm gonna say 60.
60? I'm gonna say 43. I'm actually Google it live. How many countries?
Live Google. Something that you can do with not watching the show at the same time.
Countries in Africa.
Are you going to ask each of your guests how many countries they are on each of the continents?
Oh, I should have guessed it right. I should have changed my thing. It's 54. It's 54. Oh, we've got some
Hold up. Someone says the 55.
No. How's it 55, guys? Are you telling us that
And
Google is lying to us?
here's the other thing. How many of these people Google the answer? Somebody doesn't
Google
know where.
54 countries. Who are we believing now? Now we've got a problem.
This is because these name changes. That's why, you know that thing of countries just
guys.
Shamizi.
No, because now people are saying 55. Two people have said add South Sudan. Oh. How come Google hasn't added South Sudan yet? Well, they don't recognize South Sudan.
It's the oppression against Africa. That's why. We're just going to blame Google for that.
Someone tuned, there are 56 countries in Africa. But they're counting deserts over here. That doesn't count.
You don't know what's the democracy in a desert. Who are you to judge?
Okay, cool. Before you go, I know there's 54 or 55 countries, but in the famous words of another South African president,
I am an African.
good for you. Good for you. Great speaking to you. See you soon, my friend. Bye.
Bye.
Okie dokie. So one of our guests is probably not going to make it. His name is Dean Schroeder. Dean knows everything about podcasting, especially in South Africa. The next best person that knows a lot of stuff about podcasts is a lovely girl called Rotendo, from one of the helpers of this lovely show called Tinziwe Media. I think it's pronounced that way. I'm not really good with that. Or I could be massively mispronouncing it. And the third person that knows a lot about podcasting in South Africa is myself. I've been doing it for years, 5-6 years. Probably South Africa's best independent podcaster. You know, when you Google best podcast South Africa, you see my name. I don't think it's Google search analytics. Oh, wait, I'm seeing more comments. Haha, Simmi, your Google is broken. How can my Google be broken? How can it be broken? Wi-Fi does not break. If you add Western Sahara, which is occupied by Mauritania, then I guess you get 56. Now we're just making up countries, guys. Now, to be honest, Lesotho is inside of South Africa. And I still say that belongs to South Africa. It has to. They get their energy from us. They get their roads sometimes from us. That's our country. Okay, cool. I've got my next guest. He's an extremely talented, in fact, I'll give him all the compliments once it's on. Producer Tevin, can you please bring in my friend Jan Borman?
Hey.
What up? Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. And you? Everybody in Africa, this is Jan. He's probably the first white person to be on Africa Podcast Day. I didn't want to show the world that there weren't white people in Africa, but I thought there's no better white person in the world than you. I have you here, Jan. Jan is a journalist. He works for a lovely media house called Newframe. Newframe do some excellent work. Jan's beat, the thing that he follows, is xenophobia. And I think he follows xenophobia, right, Jan?
I mean, that's one of the things I write about.
Oh, what are the other things you write about?
I recently did a vaccine story as well. So branching out to other...
A vaccine story. Hold on, here's another problem, Jan. Joburg gets its water from Lesotho. Codependency. Not anymore, my man. Our Val Dam is at 100%. We will never be using Lesotho water now. We are fine. Even at 3%, we are like, hey, guys, come on. We are giving you our water. Guys, let's not forget, South Africa is a top-notch country. Lesotho need us. Some days I think a gang could come through and just steal Lesotho from Lesotho. We could make them our 10th province. Jan, you don't have to comment on that because I know you deal with the xenophobia thing, so you're safe. So Jan, you've come into my show and you want to speak about some delicious topics. Loving Simmi's presentation. Sorry, Jan. Sorry to disturb you while I get my head bigger, get my ego rubbed.
Yeah, I don't think it would be possible.
Yeah, it is. So Jan, you're a lovely journalist. You're a good guy. What do you want to speak about today, my friend?
Before we get to that, I was just really disappointed to hear that Yassine can only name 17 African countries.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can name 17 African countries. To be honest, I'm going to try and now. Yeah, I think it's way less than that. So I'm
We're
going to, here we go. What about Swaziland? Is it a full country? How does it manage to sit isolated in the middle of South Africa? Did I confuse Lesotho with Swaziland?
I'm not sure, but Swaziland doesn't go by Swaziland anymore. It's Eswatini
Yeah, it doesn't go
now.
by. Yeah. Oh, Tamaf. Like, I did a gig in Swaziland, right? Back in the day when it was Swaziland. I did a gig at, they have a big country club there. And the only hotel, 5-star hotel, great hotel. As we're about to get on stage, this massive bouncer comes and he says, yo, no jokes about the king. And I was like, why? And he's like, because you'll go to prison. And I was like, I've got no jokes about the king. But now in the back of my mind, I keep on going, damn it. I think I could make a really good king joke, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, when I'm like, I think I even said, like sheepishly, I was like, what's the favorite girl band in like Swaziland? And I was like, it's the Spice Girls. And I was like, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. But I managed to mix the king's name into it. And then everybody laughed. And I was like, safe. Someone asked, did Jan dye his hair?
No, it's the same color. I'm just same hair.
Yeah. I mean, Jan, you're doing very well if you can afford to dye your hair during a pandemic. Yeah. And you're not old enough. You need to dye your hair, dog. You're not old enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we get into your topic, let me try name more than 17 African countries.
Okay.
Right? South Africa, Lesotho, Egypt, Chad, Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan, South Sudan, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Malawi. Malawi's 11, right?
Yeah.
Mozambique, Madagascar, Algeria, Morocco.
You haven't touched West Africa yet.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Calm down, dog. Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire. Nigeria.
Nice.
Libya. I'm already on 18. I've beaten this guy already. Senegal. Senegal 19. Namibia. How can I forget about Namibia? 20. I've mentioned
Namibia.
Yeah, I've got a guess from Namibia just now as well. But I could, so 20, 21 would be. What's below Egypt? What? There's so many. I've already said those, Maji. I'm trying to find the other ones.
You asked what's below Egypt.
Where's Timbuktu? Where's that?
Mali.
22. Cape Verde. Is Cape Verde part of Africa? Because I always see them in the soccer teams. Cape Verde. Madagascar? Okay, there's 24.
Are you going to like try and get through all of these now?
No, bro. I'm just trying to make 27 to at least know like 50% of the country. 50% of the continent, you know? Oh, man. Now I'm done. Imagine you're finished. I'm going to end it over there. Jan, so I can go 24. How could I forget Ghana and Sierra Leone and Cameroon? That would have taken me over the 27 mark. Damn it. Damn. Shit. Okay, Jan, tell me about your lovely question or comment you want to speak to me about.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you saw, or of course you saw, this South African guy who was part of the mob that stormed the Capitol.
Oh, Jan, yes, I did, of course. Listen, everybody listening. There was a South African dude, South African white dude, Jan's cousin. I don't know. Jan's cousin that went to the Capitol in America. You know, when they did what do they call them? The insurrection attacks. And then this is what he had to say.
I have a message. I'm now from South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they say that all eyes are on Congress today. I'm here in person, standing right in front of the Washington Monument, and I want you to zoom in on my face. And I want to tell you, I have a message for every one of you senators and every one of you congressmen out there. We're watching. We've had enough, okay? We have had enough. The Lamb is going to become the Lion of Judah. We have had enough.
Yes.
Don't tell us what to do anymore. I don't take instruction too well, in case you haven't noticed.
This dude sounds like he could have been like in a ring in WWE and like chirping one of his opponents.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you what upsets me? I have a full-on conspiracy theory that in every situation in the world, there is a South African involved. Every situation. Remember when that flight M377 went down? 2 South Africans on board. The tsunamis in Japan, 14 South Africans involved.
I feel like you're making these numbers up now.
No, I'm not. There's always somewhere, somehow, there's a Safa involved, my man. So when you see these things happening on the news, why would you not expect a white South African to be involved?
Yeah. Did you see the video of this guy though? How red he was. It's like he's got a bartender. This guy drinks brandy for a living.
You know what also killed me about this guy is that he first stated up front, I'm from South Africa. So we're like, now we've got a little bit of context. We know where you are from. And then he went on to lampoon what's going on. It's like, yo, you Lindsey Graham, you AOC, yo, we'll never give you this country. And then I'm going, my man, you stay in Camps Bay. You come from Cape Town, dog.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
I don't understand like South Africans who are like such serious Trump supporters.
I can't understand as well. Maybe you can shed some light into it. How do you think a South African could possibly become a Trump supporter?
I mean, they probably. I have no idea. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I wouldn't know.
Many of my cousins on the West Rand are Trump supporters.
The West Rand is a prominent place here in South Africa where they are very right wing. But like, if I had to think about it, honestly, I would say that it's closer to their politics than what a Democrat or left of center person would be. You know what I'm saying? It's like, in our country, we still harbor a lot of bitterness for democracy. That's why you'll get like I'm having a problem right now at the gym. Let me tell you guys, let me vent a little bit. So yesterday I went to the gym because I'm trying to be strong and handsome, more handsome than I currently am. And I'm standing in the front of the queue because we have to queue to get into the gym. And this white lady comes out. The white lady comes to one of the club employees, but she's like followed by like this timid like Indian kid, small little Indian dude. And she just starts shouting him in front of the employee. This guy is using the machine like this. So I don't like that. I don't like seeing those type of aggressions like happen in front of me. So I pipe up and say, hey, you can't speak to this kid like that. And she's like, you don't know what you're talking about. This has nothing to do with you, which is right. It has nothing to do with me. But when it started to having to do something with me is that you can't allow the power dynamic of like a white person to speak down to a person of color, especially if you're both club members, So I'm just like, yo, you can't speak to him like that. And she says, my son is going to come now and sort you out. And I was like, hey, my man, I'm so done with this threats of now your son is coming to sort me out. So I continued to go onto the treadmill, started my run about 8 minutes and 30 seconds in. Does she not come fully, no mask on, right up to the treadmill to shout at me again about her son coming for me? So then I stopped the treadmill, I stopped running, but I continued to run into the manager's office. Later complained. But now this perpetrator of a crime, because breaking the National Disaster Act by not wearing a mask and socially distancing, and in the club rules of Virgin Active, it tells you about socially distancing and being hygienic and wearing a mask at all times unless you're doing vigorous activity. So now she realizes this. And what do you think a white woman does when they are the perpetrator of a crime, but they realize that they're also the problem? What do you think? What's their mechanic after that?
I'm going blank now, but like
they cry. They cry. That's the thing. They cry. that's the thing. They cry. They start crying. They start crying, and that's the problem. So now we have to go.
So now it's your fault as well. You made this auntie cry as well,
bro. They sent me an email today from Virgin Active. They sent me an email today from Virgin Active saying, "Can you please join us for a meeting on Tuesday with the aggrieved parties?" I was like, "There's only one aggrieved party here. The person that was threatened with violence and spoken to without a mask, which is me. And I'm a petty person. I can't help that I'm a petty person. So I'm the victim here. So on Tuesday, she's going to see real crocodile tears. I'm going to put onions in my eyes before I go to their meeting."
Didn't you once?
Yeah, someone said, white label American podcast. I am here for South African Karens. What a lovely name for a podcast. White label American podcast. Please type in the comment section why why that's your name. Because in South Africa, there's a beer called Black Label. So I would love to know that. Darshan Mudli says, ah, ha, ha, ha. That was brilliant tape. Proud South Africans representing the world stage. Hashtag exceptionalism. No one in this dunya, in this world, has ever hashtag exceptionalism before. That's wild. But continue on. Give me your thoughts.
I was going to ask about your pettiness. Didn't you once make an audience member cry at a comedy show?
Yeah,
I vaguely remember being at one of your shows.
Yeah, I don't do it on purpose. I don't do it on purpose. I don't even remember why I made them cry. But I don't do it.
She was like talking while you were performing, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm done with this gig. We're gonna talk now. And then like eventually like, security came to fetch her.
Yes, yeah, she was talking throughout the show, and then I said, I'm done. I'm gonna speak to you. You and I are gonna speak. And then she got upset because I disturbed her conversation. Which is wild for me. Wild for me. Jan, before you go, my friend, any last comments? Where can people find you? Because guys, to be honest, Jan doesn't speak a lot. The reason why he's on this podcast is because he's one of my closest friends. We went to journalism school together. I say journalism school like it isn't like a university degree. And that's where I met Jan. And he used to speak another language, and I taught him English. So this is his second language.
I love how you keep, like, this is the story you always tell when you introduce me to people, and it's not true.
I'm not introducing you just to people. I'm introducing you to Africa, my boy. People in Kenya are watching this right now. People in Ghana are watching this. They're going to be like, you know what I need to do? I need to speak to this young man. He don't talk a lot, like he's wise. There's another comment before you go, Jan. Black Label disappointed me at the SA restaurant that hippies love here in Brooklyn. The waiter is one of my favorite South Africans I met. Whoa, hold on here. What a lovely story. Firstly,
you need to get this person on, yeah.
I need to get this person on. Can someone send a StreamYard link to this person if they want to be on? Wow, you live in America and you have a podcast, unless you're talking about like Brooklyn and Pretoria. So that then it's like, it's not that far. That hippies love Black Label. Wow, that's impressive. Jan, any words of wisdom before you want to go, my friend? Or can I give you a word of wisdom?
Yeah, please go for it.
Okay. No, I actually have to say this word of wisdom for the end. I'm sorry. But thanks for having you on. You've allowed me to do some nice riffing, you know. I'll speak to you soon. And I love you lots. Thank you, Jan. Bye.
Cool.
Bye. Take Jan off. Take Jan off. Okay, cool. Another comment. I know that restaurant. Isa Mess. Haven of Miendos. Hold on.
You come with Miendos, I answer with Miendos. Easy. Ask the question, I will answer the question.
Okay, cool. Before we have to wrap up, because we started late and I think they want me out of here by 4:55. I don't know if someone can just tell me in the private chat, if Tevin can just drop a to let me know if we can run over time a bit, but if not, I'm safe. White Label American said, ha, 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 there's a Brooklyn in Pretoria. I just learned something new today. Yeah, there's a lot of things here in South Africa. Cool. Yes, we can extend it by a bit. Please, let's bring in one of my favorite human beings. Please bring into the room Tevin, and then I'll get to give her a lovely introduction again. Hello, everybody. Please look at this gorgeous Namibian princess. Her name is Waylene. Hi, Waylene.
Hi.
Waylene is she's a comedian from South Africa and Namibia. Whatever country will take her, to be honest. She's like a gypsy when it comes to countries. She's looking to move more into the northern and western African sphere. So if you are a country in that area, Waylene is looking for a passport or a visa. What would you describe as your best skills, Waylene?
My best skills are running from my responsibilities, jumping to conclusions.
Oh, wait, let me just read the comment before we continue. It's from White Label American Podcast. It says, I'll hit you up on the socials and we shall talk more. You're going to be very disappointed when my manager will be speaking for me on the socials. Is that, you don't have representation yet, right?
No, Like that's I don't even have Wi-Fi. Like it's always hilarious when like because comedy is weird. Comedy isn't like music and stuff like that. So it's like all comedians. I get to meet really famous comedians all the time, and then or rich successful ones, and then you guys will have conversations about like, yeah, I did this corporate, what, and I'm there like, yeah, I did 5 minutes and Digipa, and I don't have Uber home.
So my manager Osman, his nickname is Square because his first name is Osman and his last name is Osman. So it's Osman. So we call him Square. Square has all the login details for my social medias. So my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook. One day we're in Botswana. It's myself, another prominent comedian, Riyad Musa. We're performing in Botswana at the Royal Palms Hotel. I remember because we did 2 shows. And I'm on stage having a good time. And I get off stage and then I check my phone and I've got a few like Instagram messages from a girl. So I go like, yo, I click over there. I was like, because I was thinking like, sometimes you're performing and someone likes you so much, they send you a right? Bro, there's a full-on conversation going on there between my manager and this girl. they are literally going like, hey, I'm enjoying your set so far. And he's like, thanks.
That girl must have been either so weirded out or so impressed, like, because it's like, oh, this guy is still on stage.
No, she didn't realize. So then I used to have this joke. Oh, wait, Waylene, let me just brush my ego again. Oh, you big time. I'm honored to be talking to a South African prince. Let me stand up and tuck in properly. A South African prince, Waylene. That's what they call me.
That's what the white label American podcast calls you.
When I put it on my next poster, a South African -- white label American podcast.
As seen and heard, the white label American podcast.
When people see him, they stand up and tuck in properly. Okay, wait. So Osman is speaking to this girl, and I had this joke about your second toe being longer than your big toe, and it looks like you're calling for a taxi to get you into town. Like a simple gag, right? And she's like, "Oh, lol, that joke is so funny about the toes." And Osman like, "Yeah, I hope you don't have toes like that." And then she's like, "No, I don't. I'll show them to you after the show if you're keen." So he's like, "Yeah, cool. Come through. We're having dinner." Bro, I don't see that part of the message. I just see Osman speaking to this person like, don't worry, I've got you a date for the dinner. Get to the dinner, bro. This girl is standing there. And she's like, "Hi, Simmi, it's me, Samira." And I'm just like, yo, dope. Because I don't know this person. I don't know what's going on. She's like, "We spoke in your DMs." And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. And then I said, "Can I ask you a question?" She's like, "Yes." I was like, "Do you think it was me that was responding?" She's like, "Yes, it was from your account." I said, "Girl, you were watching me on stage. I never had my phone out." And she's like, "Wow. But it is you, right?" I was like, yeah, okay, just come for this chicken curry. Then you can leave afterwards. As well. Waylene, do you have anything you want to speak about to me about today? I know you're struggling. I know you got Waylene got kicked off Twitter, guys. She's no longer there.
That is so sad right now.
Kicked off for acting like Kim Kardashian. Serves her right. You can't act like a queen like that.
Listen, you pretended to be the whole Namibian nation once on Twitter, so you don't get to swing that flag around. Do you understand? Simmi pretended to be Namibia, the whole Namibia.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Gaza. Gaza is a very famous Namibian artist. And people were coming up to me in the streets going, "You tell your friend Simmi, he better stop, he better not come for Gaza." I'm like, guys,
let me
control this person.
Let me paint the story better. I have a verified account on Twitter, and I use that blue tick to the best of my advantage. I will make sure I can act like someone else. I know the craft of acting like someone else. Tevin, just if you're there, can you remove that comment now? I'm tired of reading this.
African bits.
And so I used my blue tick for good. Like the one day I acted like Eskom, which is our local electricity server here in South Africa. And people thought it was the real Eskom, but it wasn't. And people had a good laugh afterwards. So I was fighting with a couple of Namibians because I acted as Waylene one day. That's how it started. I acted as Waylene one day. And I was like, wow, guys, I'm verified. And everybody got excited for Waylene, thinking that she got verified. Oh, you didn't. I was verified. I just changed my name. And then I started acting like I was bigger than some of the Namibian celebrities. And then the people in Namibia were getting mad because they realized that I was making jokes at their expense. So then I changed my whole account to the Republic of Namibia. And then they got even more mad. They're like, the Republic of Namibia doesn't have an account. And then they came for Waylene. Because like, this is Waylene, you need to sort him out. And as you can see, Waylene, while listening to the story, she decided that she wanted to let her hair down. And it shows her.
That's the thing. I feel so bad about how I let down the female womanhood, girl power race, because like the part of me before I came on the show, I was like, remember I was told you, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm so like nervous about that. But an even bigger part of me was like, I hope I look cute on this thing. Like that was like my main thing. It's like, I hope I'm funny, but I hope I'm also cute.
Just in
like,
case.
It's my main, just in
case. If there's someone
and then like the whole time, I'm just like, when you and Yassine were on, I was just practicing angles. I was like,
no, bro. Before we started this thing, I was so worried because we got sent the link to log in, right? So we logged in early, and there was another panel discussion or show before us, and they were speaking in Portuguese, right? But it sounded really aggressive because I don't know if my Wi-Fi was buffering then. And it was like, and I was like, oh, we're just going to be speaking in colonial English, and we're going to impress these people. And that's why I saved you for last. But now that you want to be on the African Podcast Festival, the African Podcast Festival Bachelorette, I'm more than welcome. I'm more than happy to try to get you set up with someone over here. If anybody that is watching this right now, I can't tell you, Waylene is a jive.
Do you know my mom?
Yeah.
Do you know my mom exposed me on Facebook today? I go into Facebook, I log in, I see a cute, I'm tagged in something. My mom tagged me. I'm like, oh, this is probably something cute. Since my niece and my nephew, so I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cute. I read the caption. It reads, my grandchildren spending their Valentines. They both have Valentines. Too bad they're nonny. That's what they call me at home. Waylene doesn't have a Valentine, and she tagged family members in this.
Your
Can
mother
you block your mother? Can you block your own mother?
Your mother hit you straight with a game over.
No, but I was even thinking about it. Now that you even just said the setting up thing, I used to when I was younger. I was like, arranged marriages and setups. That's so weird. And what? And now I'm just like, maybe someone else should pick for me, because obviously I am picking wrong. So maybe one of you go find me a person.
Can I tell you something? No marriage is not arranged. I've never gone to a wedding where I've just pitched up. Can I tell you, I personally would do an arranged marriage. I would, I've thought about it. I would definitely. Hold on, Waylene, before I tell you more about my arranged marriage, let me read from my favorite sponsor of this episode, White Label American Podcast. At Waylene, where did you have your first comedy performance? In Namibia or SA? What's the difference between both scenes for you? Tell us, Waylene.
Okay. So some would say my first comedy performance was my birth. Okay, that was weak. No, I did my first show I did was in South Africa, in Johannesburg. It was horrible. I died. And then I proceeded to die for like 3 months straight.
Makes sense.
Like a real G. Stuck it out. I haven't really played the scene here much after.
Hey, tell them how you became funnier. You met me. Why do you want to lie to these people and not say, hey, Simmi put me on? Simmi made me funny.
Simmi, don't make me lie to Africa, bro. I don't want to lie to Africa. Don't make me lie to Africa.
If people don't know, I use Waylene as my opening act. Like Whenever I have an opportunity, I give Waylene that opportunity. She's my girl for that. I love that thing.
Thanks for that, man. I haven't really played the scene. The scene here is a bit different. But it's also, I had one of those epiphany moments last year. You know, sometimes as Africans or even for us Namibians in smaller countries, when we're in South Africa or wherever, you compare the other thing and you're like, oh, our thing isn't as good as their thing, so I'm not even gonna try it. So I realized a big part of me also just didn't try to find the scene in Namibia. I just went like, oh no, there's no scene. And there kind of is. And it's just like,
yeah, but
up to me to...
guys are performing in tents. Calm down.
You know,
all the tents are being used at the moment for COVID testing and COVID vaccination. So no one can hire a gazebo right now. So you can't do any gigs. Imagine your whole entertainment industry is just broken because of a lack of tents. Namibia can't have a gig. Someone got a question for me. Sambaza podcast. What a banging name. I wish I had that name. I wish people called me Sambaza. As Simmi, have you performed in Kenya? Yes, I have. Lovely, lovely place. Lovely place. I have performed in Kenya. It was years ago. I remember it because there's on the way to the airport and from the airport, there's a massive circle, massive interchange that has a massive chicken on it, like a statue of a chicken. And someone can correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's a chicken. It is massive, Waylene. It's at least like a good 2 stories. It is big. And also the other thing I noticed what they do in Kenya is that they paint trees white. I don't know why. If somebody from Kenya can explain that, why they paint trees.
Do you also know what's 2 stories? Your story is 2 stories too long. Let's get back to me.
Okay. I just hold on before you go. Before we get back to you, I just want to say, and everybody in Africa that's watching this right now, the most beautiful country in Africa is Malawi. Everybody else can suck it. I've been to Malawi. Malawi is the most beautiful place on this God-given earth. I've never seen green like I've seen in Malawi. But other than that, back to you, Waylene. Let's hear about your career. Oh.
We have a desert, so we have pretty cool things. And like cheetahs, we have a lot of cool African things. We've got the welwitschia, which is like a dope plant. It's got 2 leaves, to retain water.
Waylene's country has a national plant called the welwitschia. It's got literally 2 leaves. And the one day she was telling me about it, and I literally said, yo, this plant sounds like a Russian stripper. And she was embarrassed. I think she's actually gone. I think oh no, she's there. She's still there. Wait, someone has had a White Label American podcast has a new comment out. I want to read it. It says, hey Tevin, producer Tevin, put the comment on the screen, my man. What's going on here? Put the comment on, G. Okay, I'll read the comment. It says, I have had a few comedians on my podcast, no Prince yet, and they always talk about dying and bombing on stage, then bouncing back. Thanks. Yeah, Waylene has done a lot of dying on stage, so I won't be able to give you any answers on that. I'd only destroy. I only kill all the time.
Only bad comedians have never died on stage. Dying is part of the craft.
That just sounds like
the journey.
Come with Mendos.
Mendos.
Ask the question, I will answer the question.
Producer Tevin, I don't know if you're there, bro. We're still trying to wait for this comment to get onto the screen. I mean, I don't know. Waylene, you tell us. I'm going to find Tevin.
Listen, the Twitter ban wasn't the biggest upsetting ban I've received. I want to talk about my Tinder ban. I'm banned from Tinder, and it is
Tinder.
Yeah, like ban. And like I can't make a new account. I need a new phone. I don't know why I'm banned from Tinder. Okay, I do know why I'm banned from Tinder, but it doesn't matter. They can't just ban me from love. Why? Or because I use people's material for jokes sometimes. Blah, 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 blah. So some people report.
You have to blur it out a little bit. It's like you have to do that.
No. Not even, I don't mean like posting it. I mean like on stage. So some like I think yeah, but like the one dude found out and like reported my account, and like I guess got other people to also report my account.
But I've heard
Tinder's thing is you need like three reports, then your account gets banned. So it's easy to get banned from it.
Do you remember former President Robert Mugabe? Do you think that he would have a Tinder account after this quote?
If you are ugly, you are ugly. Stop talking about inner beauty. Men do not walk around with X-rays to see your inner beauty.
There's a guy that does all these quotes from various African celebrities and politicians, and that was my favorite video he ever posted. And like I still remember to this day when the other DJ went, "Who said that?" And he's like, "Robert Mugabe," and I was like, "Damn." Now you can't even find love in Namibia or wherever you go, and now you're trying to go to Northern Africa and Western Africa. You're gonna try to find love over there, my man. This live that we're doing right now is probably your best shot. If I was you,
okay, let's list my. Okay, so my name's Raylene. I'm 25. I like long walks on the beach. That's a lie. I don't like long walks anyway. I like to go to the beach, take a cute picture, and go home. I watch Netflix.
Okay, stop. I've got a comment for you. Someone says, at Simmi, my wife says Wabeline is cute. Please tell
Is she single? Is your wife single? She's looking for it.
I just want to let you
Can
guys
you
know.
fight? Can you fight?
Let me tell you something. Tell your wife, firstly, that Waylene can't be cute. That's not even her real hair. I've seen Waylene come. Oh, what's happening?
Someone came. My friend came through with a beat face. Show Africa your face.
What up? What up?
Okay, that's enough now. This is about me.
Waylene, so this person's whole wife says that you're cute. What does your wife happen to say about me? Just by the way, what does your wife think about me? I got a fade and everything for this gig.
I believe in
the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You know, it's your hair. You bought it. We need to start a campaign to get our sister here. Hey, my man, get off the.
Please, yes.
I'm tired of Waylene. She don't need to be here. She doesn't need to be here. It's your hair if you bought it. Yes.
Thank you, Tevin. That's correct. Correct.
Okay, that's it, my darling. I don't have much more for you. You know, I always enjoy speaking to you, and I do want to speak to you more.
To other people.
No, just to you. As I told Waylene yesterday, we were friends in a previous lifetime, and then immediately
I was like, yeah.
I don't believe in that stuff. Ugh. And then Waylene and I celebrated our 2-year friend anniversary yesterday. So just want to let you know, Waylene, Somebodies podcast has come to me that their wife has said, she says you are handsome, and your wife is correct. I love your wife. Yeah, is she single? That's what I want.
How deep is this marriage thing of yours? Yeah. Like how serious are you guys?
Is a nice thing. But Waylene is a happy woman. Okay, cool. Waylene, love you. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, now that Waylene is out of here and it's just me, we don't have much time left. I've had lots of fun. I don't know if Joey's there. I don't know if Mel is there. I don't know if anybody from Africa Podfest. I mean, I really need to get the correct name. It's Africa Podcast Day by Africa Podfest. If anybody is there and they want to add anything before I leave, yeah, I'm done. I got nothing much more to say. I would love to answer more questions about podcasts and stuff, but I feel like all the good answers were given earlier on during the day. And I'm just here to provide some humor, some relief. If there's one thing I want to say is that I know that there's a lot of, when we make podcasts, sometimes we make them with this very serious intention. And sometimes, a little bit of irreverent humor or something entertaining goes so much further. I always firmly believe as an artist is that, we can get a serious message across in such a funny way and it can be so cool. I just wanted to read a few comments. This convo was so fun. Thank you. I know I prepped all of it, and my friends are hilarious. Thanks for the laughs. You are more than welcome. And the last one is thank you. It's been a vibe. So I know. Sorry, This is so breaking the fourth wall. A Brechtian tactic that they use in drama. Joe said, "Yes, you do. Gifting you 30 minutes. You gifted me extra time, but I don't have another person to speak to. I would love to speak to someone, anybody out there, because there's not many comments and stuff. I would really love to speak to someone, if there is anybody out there. I mean, let me try find someone. Simmi, we need to chat. You are extra. Hey, Tevin, put this thing on there, my man. There's a lovely comment. I can't even read it. Dope. Simmi, we need to chat. You're extra shay. Brooklyn accepts you. I've got like 20 minutes, bro. If you want to jump on this podcast.
Yeah,
Hey,
if he wants to, he can comment his email and I'll send him an email.
Yeah. I just want to check. I know there's a guy from Egypt. You keen to jump on? Let me just WhatsApp him quickly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But if White Label is ready, I will gift him a good time. I'll have a very good time. I haven't met this guy, but he also has a podcast all the way in Egypt. You know, Egypt is a cool place. People like that place. They had an Arab Spring. Tevin, now that you're here, I need to know, how's your day?
My day has been long. My day has been eventful,
Mm-hmm.
but successful.
Before you continue, Tevin, let me just tell you what my friend Sandra said. I'm thinking to have my kids start a podcast, which is a cool idea. You know, kids stuff really, really works. If you look at the behind it, there's actually a few markets where people do really, really well. Health and fitness, of course, because since the lockdown, that's like been amazing. Financing, and of course, kid stuff, because sometimes it's easy. I mean, Gimlet have a really, really cool podcast about like brushing your teeth and stuff. Now wait, White Label American has said, I intentionally trapped you with my Nigerian side. What does Kevin do? Who's Kevin now? It's not Kevin, it's Tevin. Tevin with a T. He needs your email address so he can email you.
Yeah, I need your email address.
When I can speak. And Sandra said, like, force them to do it and share the experiences. Can I tell you what the best way, like, I don't know about you, Tevin. I don't know if you're involved in like the recording side of a podcast, but like you like, guys, here's a big tip. If you want to make like good audio, right? Use your phone. Your phone is really, really powerful. You just need to know how to use it. Like, don't record audio with your phone like this. Record like that. That's the way you get it. And do it in a quiet area, and your kids will love it. And you can use like so many apps out there, like where you can make your own jingle, etc., etc. Sandra says your comedy point and not being too serious is a direction, I think. Yeah, I'm not saying that serious podcasts shouldn't exist and that serious matters should not be delved deeper into. I'm saying that I'm not that type of podcaster. I'm really not. We are in New Orleans spending our morning with you. Lovely. I've got friends now in New Orleans. Even Tevin has friends. Well, you know, if I've got no one else to be on the show, bro. I've got no one else. No one is commenting.
I think White Label America has cold feet, maybe.
Did you say he has cold feet? Yeah. They have. Whoa, Sandra says they have an American mom, a Guinean dad, and living in DRC. That's a great combo.
That's content gold.
That's a cool hook over there. But I'm just like, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. And I think always starting is such a thing. Like a lesson on Somebodies, we are like, this is 6 years in, and we just started because I just want to be back in radio. You know, a White Label American podcast has just sent a message just saying, I'm trying to figure out how to send Tevin the email. You know where you are commenting right now.
No, maybe it's a privacy thing. Maybe it's like, I don't want all these people having my email. He just sent it. Okay.
I mean, it's the Gmail account, my man. Hold on, Even you can leave now while I answer my friend Sandra again. So the thing is, right, is to make the stuff, like make it, because you can make it really good just by using simple tools. And I'll tell you, when I left radio, I had a Zoom recorder. So I used my Zoom recorder a lot because I was in radio. But I've used many a trick. I've used my phone to record podcasts. I've edited on my phone. I download like a free copyrighted jingle somewhere where I know that like no one's going to be upset if I use it. And you make the content. Because if the content's good, it'll travel. There's a reason why we're here. And Darshan Mudley, if Tevin is also listening, Darshan Mudley has a comment and is, what's the best story you've been told? Good question, bro. Good question. What is the best story I've been told? I don't know. You know, South Africa, and Darshan, you know, because you're from South Africa. Darshan also, I don't know if you have the details to your workshop that you want to pop in the comment section. I can give it a plug because I'm going to be posting this podcast on my feed later on anyway. So the best story, I don't know if I've been told the best story. I come from a family of good storytellers, right? And I think my dad is the best storyteller. Like, he's told me really incredibly rich stories, and he comes from a different time than us because, you know, we suffered during apartheid, and he's an orphan, and he has like this lovely family dynamic, and his stuff is very serious, but he's also a jokey person like myself, but it's not as jokey as I am. So I think his stories are probably the best stories I've been told. I can't remember one that like stands out like at all. I know I have a really like my last comedy show, which was called Listen on Somebody, was based only on my dad. Sandra says, that's a word and a motivation. Thank you so much. Been listening all day. No, thank you. I don't know where you are in the world, Sandra, or the DRC. I don't know what time it is there, but I'm happy to be here. Always wanted to do this. Always, I've never done something live, and if people enjoyed it, I'll definitely try to do it again. But yeah, if White Label American is ready, Tevin. So if you can, I don't know if this is a he or she. I've been assuming. Such a horrible person I am. I'm a horrible person. You can put yo, Tevin, are you White Label American, Tevin? You're the person. This whole time you've been this person.
No, I'm just here to let him or her know, or them know, that if you click the link, I should be able to see you in the backstage, but I cannot see you in the backstage.
Yeah, click the link. Okay, I'll tell him, Tevin. Don't worry, and I'll answer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So before I answer the question, White Label American Podcast, go to the link Tevin has sent you, and you click on that link, and then you click on like the profile, and then it says enter broadcast studio, and you do that, and then you'll be in. It's very easy. Anna Ramos Barreto, lovely name. Vita Bella. Simmi, do you have a favorite podcast episode of my podcast? Of my podcast? I'm assuming it's my podcast. Yeah, I do. My favorite episode is actually another open line type of thing. It is with Riyad Musa. I think it's just called Riyad Musa. We did the podcast live, and let me tell you, if you think that this was fun, a live recording of a podcast is wild. It is hella enjoyable. You feed off the crowd. The gags are hitting. It is wonderful. I love that. If I had to do just like a normal interview style podcast where I've spoken to people, the one that I've enjoyed the most, I have one coming out on Monday with a lovely lady called Tex Talks. She's a music journalist here in South Africa. It's actually very, very good. I dig it. But probably one of my favorites of all time would be Robbie Collins, the first one I did with him. He's a comedian. He's open for Trevor Noah. Just incredible. I've known Robbie since we were kids when we started doing stand-up, like 17, 18 years old. And I turned 33 on Sunday. So this is like my little birthday present before Valentine's Day, which is my birthday. So yeah, so I don't know if a White Label American is coming. If not, plot twist. Dude, I feel like I'm being catfished. I feel like this is a bad episode of Catfish. What up, dog? What's your name?
Hey, what's up? Raphael. Raphael.
Oh.
But since I moved to the United States, everybody calls me Raphael.
What a cool name. Where did you move from?
Nigeria.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
that's why I put the word Che. Che.
Oh.
Or like She, you know?
Yeah, what does Che stand for?
It stands for everything. Literally. It depends on how you're using it in a sentence. Like, Che, that didn't happen. Oh. Che. That man did that stuff.
Can you tell your daughter to Che over there a little bit? That makes you see.
She runs the house. Like, yeah, it's hard.
You come from Nigeria and you've moved to America. What are you doing over there, my guy?
Right now, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm a podcaster. I used to be in the Navy, so my body is recovering from certain things. So yeah, it's a journey.
What certain things? Did you carry a gun and stuff like that? Are you like James?
Let's say I carried a bow and arrow. It's not fun when I say bow and arrow, right?
Let's give your podcast a bit of a shout out. What's your podcast about?
So everybody meets me in America. They hear my accent. They don't consider me American, but I'm an American citizen. I did stuff for the government, and every time I take an Uber, I talk to the drivers. No matter where they're from in the world, we always connect on something. And
that's a great idea. I used to have a thing where I used to interview Uber drivers. It's such a cool thing because I don't know if it's the same where you are, but back home here in South Africa, our Uber drivers have a lot of great stories, and they also
they do here too. They do. I've met people from Uzbekistan, Ukraine. Like I met a guy from Ukraine. Like my Russian buddy, who I call my brother. We have this joke about Eastern Europeans that they all wear Adidas, and we call it like Dida life. So this Uber driver, he picks me up, and he's all wearing Adidas from head to toe. And I see his name, so I know the name is Ukrainian. So I ask him, "Where you from, brother?" And he starts telling me, and I'm like, "Oh, so what team do you support? Dynamo Kiev or Shakhtar?" He's like, "Oh, you know Ukrainian football." And then he's like, "Let me tell you, in the 90s," and then he just starts breaking it down, and he tells me about his past life in the Soviet Union. And it's just so, but the podcast had to come out about, because the podcast it's not about Uber drivers, it's about immigrants. It started off as immigrants in New York, because I live in New York, and New York is like a big market. There's so many people, you can find everybody around the world. And it's one thing to know people to know a country. We know the governments mostly, because everybody knows the governments. We hate the government or we like the government, right? But we don't know the people from the place.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Kevin, put that comment up there. Put that comment up. I did stuff for the government. It's hilarious. It's true. When you said
I did really though, it's and I'm proud of it, because that's where I got to know that I could be a badass. Not like the way people think badass is defined in so many ways. So yeah, I claim mine. Own it. Own everything you've done in your life. And don't forget that humble bullshit. Be who you want to be. Sorry, I'm not supposed to cuss. My bad.
Cool. No stress. Raphael, it was great speaking to you.
Hey, great. I hope I can get you one day on my podcast. So
100% you can, bro. 100%. Just drop me a DM. I'll respond to you.
I will.
Just for my name is at the bottom there, my handle, and you can.
Yes. I'll connect with you. All right, brother.
Cool. Thanks. Get rid of my book shops. Thank you. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I dig the guy's vibe, but his child was making a hella noise and my head was starting to get sore. So yeah, I guess we've come to the end. In the words of Cat Stevens, it's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. Josephine has sent me a lovely private message saying, "Thank you, Simmi. You're so talented. You're so handsome. I wish we could have you every single year. And you can just do this all the time. And you are so good. I wish I could appear on this podcast, but my voice is a bit sore. And I just want to let you, I'm sorry, I'm just reading it over here. You guys can't see it on the screen. And I just want to let you know that if there's ever an opportunity out there in Africa, if people have money and they want to give it away, I would give all of my money to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Josephine, for saying that. Thank you. And yeah, I know there's 2 more comments over there. Hope to bump into you in person someday. Hey man, we never know how this world is gonna turn out. I've been to America and Canada a few times, and it was dope. And maybe I'll come to New Orleans one day. We'll never know. But yeah, I've had fun. I don't know if I must leave or not, Tevin. I don't know if you say goodbye to me or not. Darshan, you still haven't told me about your podcast thing, bro, but fine. This was a lot of fun. Sorry about my daughter. Thanks, Simmi and Tevin. No stress, Raphael. I'll see you soon, my G. Speak on the streets. Hold on. 2 more private chats. And says, oh, okay, so I know how I'm going to be removed. Tevin will move you and then add us back. Okay. Bye, friends.
Simmi Areff, what up, boy?
How you, dog?
Simmi Areff joins us in studio. He knows more than you can imagine.